Good morning, Yankees Nation. I'm Ken, and you're here with the Ugly Truth, or my pseudonym is Captain Hook. Today, or this morning, I guess we're going to go over a bit of the pre-series review for the Rangers versus the Yankees. After the Subway Series, there are a couple things that came to my head. Did the Yankees sacrifice this series by pitching Jacob DeGrom or pitching Max Fried in Game 3 of the Mets series? If you look at it, the pitching alignment for this series is going to be a rough one for the Yankees. Before I get started, though, I'm going to give a shout out to the folks that are here in the stream with me, at least the ones that I know of. Morning, Jonathan, Graham, Stephen B., Sean Browning, John the Beagle Dad, FJ, and Real B. Appreciate y'all jumping in the stream with me this morning and supporting the channel. Like I said, I have a lot of concerns with regard to the pitching alignment that we have facing the Rangers starting this evening. Game 1 is going to be Patrick Corbin versus Will Warren. Game 2 will be Jacob DeGrom versus Ryan Yarbrough. And Game 3 is going to be Nathan Eovaldi versus Carlos Rodon. If you look at the numbers one-on-one, it is definitely not in our favor with regard to the pitching alignment. However, all is not lost. On the season, the Rangers are 25-23 and are in third place in the AL West. In their last 10 games, the Rangers are 7-3 and are currently on a one-game losing streak. However, they have won 5 out of their last 7 games. When they're facing teams that have a better than 500 record, they are sitting at 10-15. The run differential for the team is only a +2. The Rangers are not a very good team when it comes to being on the road. Their road record is 10-15, while they're 8-13, excuse me, and their home record is 17-10. This season, the Rangers were predicted to be the top dog in the AL West, but they've gotten a rough start to the season. Their series record thus far is 6-8-1. The Rangers have series wins over the Red Sox, the Reds, the Rays, Angels, the Tigers, and the Rockies, while they have series losses to the Cubs, the Dodgers, the Giants, 2 against the Mariners, and 2 against the Red Sox. So, and they have 1 series split, and that is with the Astros. So all in all, looking at who has beat them, a lot of the top flight teams, some of them we've recently faced, some we had difficulties with, some that we handled. One of the hallmarks of this particular team is their pitching dynamics. They are pretty lights out, a very solid rotation, similar to that we saw against with the Mariners. And throughout the season, we've had issues scoring on Tier 1 type pitchers, aces, but we tend to kill below zone pitchers and average pitchers. Patrick Corbin, his numbers, may not look fantastic, But when he was with the Nationals last year and he faced off against us, he shut us out. He he made us look silly going up against him. Uh, this year, DeGrom seems to be playing healthy and is not injured, and is handling business like he did in the past. Nathan Eovaldi, just a solid all around pitcher, has a fantastic ERA, and I had I had wished that the Yankees would have chosen to try to bring him on board because I've always liked him as a pitcher, and I liked him when he was with the Yankees. He's gotten older and become a smarter pitcher than he was when he was young and only threw a fastball, and that was it. Uh, see Lou hopping in here. Thanks, Lou. Appreciate you joining. For this season, our New York Yankees are 27-19 and are currently in first place in the AL East. In our last 10 games, we have won 7 and lost 3. Our team is currently on a 1-game winning streak. But we've won 4 out of our last 6 games. When facing teams that have a greater than 500 record, we are 13-11, and the run differential for our team is plus 90. So that means we're scoring 8. See Cold Italian Pizza hopping in. Welcome, brother. And I see Mario Ruiz jumping in. Thank you for joining the stream. Before I continue, I've been watching some teams that we're going to be facing here in this upcoming West Coast road trip, and I will tell you, I don't think we have an easy series in there at all. Everyone may sit there and think, "Oh, we're facing the Rockies. That should be a 3-game sweep." Well, I will tell you, I watched the Rockies put 14 runs up against the Diamondbacks earlier in the week and come back and won. They might not have a great bullpen. Their starting pitching may be average, but that team can score runs, and they're fast. I watched over the weekend the Angels sweep the Dodgers in Dodger Stadium. I also watched last night's Dodgers Diamondbacks game, and the Dodgers beat them up pretty well too. So the Dodgers are currently on a 4-game losing streak, and the sad thing to think is the easy series that we may have on the road is going to be the Dodgers. Just some food for thought. I'll get back to the Yankees info. Our home record on this season is 15-9, and our road record is 13-11. On the season, we have 9 series wins and 6 series losses. I'm not going to go into who we won, who we beat, who we lost. The thing that I will bring up is we have won our last 4 series, and we have not played any scrub teams. We've faced first and second place teams within their respective divisions, and we've beat the Padres, the Athletics, the Mariners, and the Mets. All very competent teams, good pitching, and decent hitting. I know that the team started out slow. There was definitely, I see Ray jumping in. Hey, Ray, and Dev Finch, appreciate it. I know that the team started out slow, looked dysfunctional, and our rotation was, hey, Jason, glad to see you hopping in. Our rotation was very shoddy at best. I mean, we had only 60% of the pitchers that we started the season out, or that we were supposed to start the season out with, were on the shelf. in the San Diego series, I saw things that perked my head up. I saw our back into the rotation guys uh, start to put it together. Clark Schmidt had a very good outing against a very tough team. We had Will Warren, who's had several good outings. He's adapted a two-seam fastball that has a lot of run on it, and it seems to be keeping hitters off of his pitches because he throws it high in the strike zone. So I like that look. And in two respective games, he struck out 9 and 8 players, 17 strikeouts in 2 games against some very, very tough teams. In the series, also, I noticed that the team seemed to be gelling more. We had the seasoned veterans that are on the team doing what they do. The new acquisition players like Bellinger and Goldschmidt just playing fantastic baseball. And the prospects slash rookies seem to be understanding the Yankee way and gelling and becoming a cohesive unit. Hey, Nancy, kid sis, how you doing? So I'm liking the direction of the team. When the season began, I looked at the month of May and I circled that on my calendar as one that I thought we were going to have a hard time with. We're still playing good teams, but with the improvements that we had, especially the improvements in the rotation, taking the pressure off of our bullpen, I'm feeling real confident. The Yankees may not be the Yankees of 2024. I think this is a better version of themselves. And when all of our reinforcements come back from the IL, i.e., Giancarlo Stanton, Cousins, some more of the bullpen arms, I think that we are going to be stacked. The question is going to be, what do we do with all the players we have? Obviously, some of them aren't going to make the cut. I saw that when we brought Johnny Loizaga up, we DFA'd Tyler Matzik. And I saw in the news that Matzik declined his outright assignment to the minors and chose to go into free agency. Give me a sec. Once again, as in standard fashion, telemarketers have this radar that senses that I'm on air and decide that it is time to call me and aggravate me. So hence, I guess I'll have the phone here and I'll click and hang up on people as they call. I'm going to go. I'm not going to do what I usually do. I'm going to go over the Rangers pitchers because those of us that follow the Yankees know pretty much what we have with our starters, but we may not know the things that we're facing. Patrick Corbin, he's coming up tonight to take the lead with us. Corbin on the season is 3-2, and he has a 3.35 ERA. Very respectable. He has 20 strikeouts. Corbin is a pure 100% junk ball pitcher now. Yankees have not fared well against junk ball pitchers. Corbin features a slider that's running at 79 miles per hour, and he throws it 36% of the time. He features a sinker that he throws 30% of the time, and it's only coming in at 91 miles an hour. He has a cutter that he throws 21% of the time, and then he mixes in a change or a curve. The big high notes for Corbin is he has great breaking ball run rate. His hard hit rate is low, and the average velo against him is low. The negatives that he has is he has a low fastball rate. He doesn't strike people out. Ground ball rate is low, so that means when we're contacting them and putting the ball in the air to play. The batting average against Corbin on the season is 260, which is pretty respectable from the hitting stance. Corbin won his last start. It was against the Rockies. He went 6 innings, gave up 4 hits, 1 walk. He hit a batter, gave up 3 runs, and struck out 9. Not his normal grid chart. And he is going to be matching up with Will Warren tonight. The second pitcher in their rotation is Jacob deGrom. Those of you who have been Yankees fans for a long time and remember deGrom as a Met, well, he doesn't appear to be injured, and he appears to be pitching to the form that he did with the Metropolitans. On this season, deGrom is 4-1 with a 2.24 ERA and has 53 strikeouts. He, in typical Met fashion, features 4 pitches. He throws a 4-seam fastball that runs about 97 miles an hour, and he throws it 45% of the time. He has a slider that is 89 miles per hour, and he throws it 40% of the time. So he's got basically 85% of his pitches are either one of those two, and he's getting a lot of batters out and striking a lot of batters out. He also has a change and a curve that he throws in there, but long and short, he is straight nasty. When you look at his stats, he has very high breaking ball run rate. He has high strikeout numbers, high chase numbers. His fastball velo is off the charts. He has a low ERA, and exit velocity on balls that are put in play by him is very low. If you look at his baseball savant chart, he basically has no negative stats. And opponents this season are hitting a 218 against him. In his last 4 starts, he has won all of them. He beat the Astros, the Tigers, the Mariners, and the A's. In his last start, he went 8 innings, gave up 5 hits, walked 1 person, did not give up an earned run, and struck out 7. So that is, true ace caliber stuff. And something to definitely be wary about. He is going to be locking up against the polar opposite with Ryan Yarbrough as a 100% junk baller. But similar, Yarbrough doesn't have a lot of hard contact against him, and the Rangers are definitely a hardball hitting or fastball hitting team. The Game 3 matchup is going to be with Nathan Eovaldi. He's 4-2 on the season and has a ridiculous 1.61 ERA with 65 strikeouts. Nathan features 5 pitches, a 4-seam fastball. He throws at 94 miles an hour, and he throws it 29% of the time. He throws an 87-mile-an-hour splitter that he throws 29% of the time. He has a curveball that's 75, and he throws it 21% of the time. He has a cutter that he throws 20% of the time, and when he thinks that you've got him, he throws in a slider. If you look at his baseball savant chart, every category that he has is a plus. He does not have a negative category. And he is another pitcher who has no true discernible weaknesses. It's a tough row to hoe in New York. And for Eovaldi, he's won 2 out of his last 3 starts. His last game, he did not end up with a decision. However, he pitched 5 2/3 innings. He only gave up 2 hits, gave up 3 walks, a little higher than normal. He did not give up an earned run, and had 5 strikeouts. So, that being said, if you look at the generic stats, I'm going to try to share this with y'all. If you look at the Rangers pitching numbers on the right, they are a 3.24 ERA team, 4th best in baseball. They've given up 39 home runs, 4th best in baseball. Their whip is a 1.13, 2nd best in baseball. Batting average against them is a 222, 5th best in baseball. So they are in the top 10% in all measurable categories for pitching, i.e., something that we need to definitely be weary of. If we look at their batting statistics, they are hitting a 227 average, 26 in the league. They've scored 166 runs, 26 in the league. They've scored 50 runs, or had 50 home runs, 14th best in the league. Their on-base percentage is a 289, 27th in the league, and their slug is a 368, 24th in the league. So what does that tell you? That tells you that they are not scoring a lot of runs, and that's why their record is as bad as it is. If our pitchers can hold true to form, we should be able to limit their run capability also. Hence, is this series lost? Well, hell no, it's not. We just have to do what we do. Pitch well, get into the other opponent's bullpen, because I don't think that their bullpen is overly good, and have patient, smart at-bats. I'm going to bring up our Yankee stats, and then I'm going to open it up for the panel. On the season for us, we have a 3.54 ERA, 10th best in the majors. We've allowed 39 home runs, which is 4th best in the majors. We have a 1.17 whip, 5th best in the majors. And the batting average against our team is a low 205, best in the majors. If we look at the offensive side of the ball, our numbers have continued to go down. Our batting average is 3rd at 261. We've dropped to 3rd in runs at 266. Our home runs is 79, and we're 2nd. On-base percentage is at 347, 1st, and our slug is a 475, dropping from 1st to 2nd. So we've lost some ground in almost every hitting category. What may be the reason for that? Not hitting the long ball, and I don't mind that at all. During this Mets series, we had 2 games that we did have home runs, but we had patient at-bats, much better situational hitting, and good composite of team play with the defense. Our bullpen, for the most part, held up very well, and one of the pleasant surprises to me is how well DJ LeMahieu came out. He is looking to be the DJ of old. the return of Johnny Loizaga has added a spark to the bullpen. And when you look at the way that Devin Williams has been pitching in his last 8 outings, he's been lights out. And it was great to see him put the whammy on Pete Alonso, striking him out on 3 pitches. I think that was a little bit of poetic justice and might have been some good medicine that he needed to have. All right. I am going to drop the link, so please feel free to jump up. We're about 25 minutes into the stream, so got a little bit of time to chat. We can talk about the Mets series. Oh, and there you go. And there you go again. We can talk about the Mets series, things that we liked, things that we didn't like. Talk Cody Bellinger. Fantastic performance during the series. One of the things that I saw, comment from Graham, just don't get swept in this series. I'm hoping for a series win, but I think that the boys are going to have to be playing at their optimum. And I have Sean Browning jumping up to the stage. Sean, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
So, what is your piece? What do you got to say?
How's that eye healing?
This morning I took a shower and I was actually able to focus for maybe about a half hour or so till my eye started to do the funky chicken and went back to its stupid self. So hence the Captain Hook patch was on. I was hoping that I was going to be able to do the stream without it, but no such luck.
Yeah, but yeah. As far as the series, I think we'll probably end up winning 2 out of 3. I'm not gonna say we'll sweep them because we're going against good quality pitchers, 2 of them at least. And Patrick Corbin has been a Jekyll and Hyde against the Yankees, with it being a junk baller. But I believe our pitchers are going to hold their own, but it comes down to what the bats are going to do, what the offense is going to do. Are we going to be steady, consistent, patient at bats while I keep attacking the pitcher? Or are we going to just be free swinging and, wasting at bats with pop, So.
Personally, freaking Steven being his damn jokes. Get my cursor tune. Too bad it's not Halloween. You would be the perfect pirate. Thank you, jackass. Corbin Burns annoys me, especially after last season when he was so freaking horrible. He was the worst pitcher in baseball. He came up against us and shut us out. He made us look silly. And honestly, this isn't the team from last year. We added players like Bellinger and Goldschmidt who can hit left-handed pitching. And I think if you look at their numbers, they're actually both very good against him.
Mm-hmm.
So that should help. One of the things that I'm curious about with regard to the lineup, are they going to put – I see Jason Custodio hopping in. Bring him up. Hey, Jason, how you doing?
How's it going, fellas? What's up, Sean?
Is Jason Dominguez going to be in the lineup tonight against a junk balling left-hander?
Yeah, I mean it would depend because sometimes when Grisham plays, uh, odds on out, Dominguez, unless they DH Dominguez and sit Ben Rice, or do we just DH Judge and then have Grisham, Dominguez, and Belly in the outfield?
Well, Jason, you live in Texas, right?
Yes, sir.
And I tend to think you see a lot of the Rangers.
No, cause I'm in San Antonio, so usually I have been there though before, but um over here is mostly Houston Astro fans, and I've been over there several times. So.
Okay. Do you know much about the Rangers as a team?
I don't, not this year, but I know that looking at the historical numbers versus Patrick Corbin, that DJ LeMahieu has great numbers versus him. 6 home runs. I think he's faced him well over like 40 at bats. I mean, a lot of that's probably old DJ, but I'm looking forward to him having a good day. As far as Jason Dominguez, it's gonna be interesting because you got to get Ben Rice out there because he did not play. He did not start Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. So and then with the off day,
No, he did.
so he has to get his at bats, But you got a left-handed pitcher coming up, so it's gonna be interesting to see what Boone does. I'm curious to see how he plays this. And you got to get Grisham in there as well.
I will tell you, from my perspective, looking at, hey Joe, thanks for hopping in the stream. From my perspective, what I'm seeing with Ben Rice is that pitchers are making an adjustment to him, and he is getting a steady diet of high fastballs out over the towards the outside portion of the plate, and he is just not catching up to it. When he is, he's got that one of the top hard hit rates in the league, but I think it's now time for him to make his adjustments now that the pitchers in the league have made adjustments to him.
Yeah,
Patrick Corbin
Yeah.
may be the ideal guy because he's not a high velocity fastball guy. And if we can get Rice to not swing at the first pitch every damn time he's up to the plate, that might bode well for us. Or for him at least.
So, yeah. So what do you do? I mean, would our best lineup be with Rice or Dominguez?
Well, Dominguez has started to come around hitting a bit right-handed. Not anywhere near where I would want him to. But honestly, he's one of the core people that you're looking at for the future. He needs to be in getting his at-bats. He needs to be out in the field actually playing. If
But
it's
yeah. I mean,
putting
this-
Judge in at the DH slot to get him in there and Belly in right field, Grisham in center.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I think Boone is gonna have Dominguez in the lineup because it's like you said, Ken. He's got to get reps from the right side. How do you expect him to get any better there if he's not getting reps there? So, and
yeah.
if not, just keep him at the left. Make him a permanent lefty. If you're not gonna give
Yeah.
him reps and from the right side.
But in order to
And
really determine whether he should just stay a true lefty or continue to switch hitting, you got to let him have consistent attempts at batting right to see if he can get it around.
Mhm.
It's long and short, he is a great left-handed hitter. Period. Dominguez has got over 300 batting average, hitting from the left-hand side of the plate. And I don't know what in baseball makes people think, or the analytics say, that a left-handed hitter can't hit a left-handed pitcher, because that's straight crap. Look at Cody Bellinger. Cody Bellinger hits near 300 against left-handed pitchers.
Yeah. Normally it's the other way around. But I think some of them think that because the way a lefty's facing right, and whatever the case is, it might be harder to pick up some pitches, but normally left-handed pitchers will give right-handed hitters a hard time.
Yeah, definitely in the Yankees case. But I agree with Ken though. I never really understood that because I mean, then it'd be the same for right-handed hitters with right-handed pitchers.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I think that's just one of those I don't know, it's one of those old school things.
Unwritten
I
rules.
yeah, I
yeah,
don't get it, to be honest. I really don't get it. And then I'm not lefty, so I can't tell you. I wouldn't know how it is to face a left-handed
yeah.
pitcher from
Well,
the left side.
well, I'm a left-handed batter, and when I was hitting, I would tend to crowd the plate. So I got hit a lot by left-handed pitchers trying to
But
sneak
yeah,
balls in on me, and I just wasn't having it. I wasn't surrendering the plate. And if you look
uh,
at Bellinger's approach, when he is facing a left-hander, he is tacking close to the line. He's not giving up the inside. But the reason that you do that as a left-handed hitter is when they throw breaking crap that breaks away from you, you can still make contact on it. And a true hitter can punch the ball to left field without a doubt. It's just rolling your
oh
hand over
yeah,
the top of the ball.
yeah.
There's
And
some
there's some
axiom
hits.
that people seem to think that all left-handers are pull hitters, and that's for me. My best at bats is when I was hitting dingers to left center field and right center field. I very rarely did I ever pull anything.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. I've seen some of the greatest left-handed hitters we've seen in the last, I don't know, 2 generations, and they weren't just pull hitters only. They were, uh, they'd go the other field. I mean, they go the other way, uh, hit the ball to all fields. Um, I mean, look at Tino, look at Don Mattingly, uh, Ichiro.
FJ brings FJ brings a real good one up too. Freaking Wade Boggs. Wade
Uh huh.
Boggs was a hitting machine.
What?
Yep.
Even Ichiro, he batted lefty, but he'd bunt. He hit. He's a slap hitter like Pete Rose, just hit it to all fields.
The interesting thing about Ichiro, he was such a dynamic player. I don't know if you ever caught a game at the stadium when Ichiro was on the team and he was doing when they were doing batting practice. Ichiro would jack ball after ball after ball. I mean, he was hitting them out of the park long. And
Yeah,
Ichiro could do it
I would
all.
often sit back and wonder, why the hell doesn't he do that in the game?
yeah. I mean, you remember when he threw out somebody at a fast runner at like third base from right field, and I'm like near the wall when he first came into the league. I think it like at old Safeco Field. Remember that was one of the
Yeah.
plays, and I was like, man, he's got a cannon. I was like, and
So
yeah,
telemarketer
Yeah,
number 3.
they don't stop. No, but I think the Yankees have to take this game today, being that this is probably the easier matchup that we're gonna see this series. So they
yeah,
gotta get this one. They have to.
right.
What
And then I
what
think
my gut go ahead.
I was gonna
Go ahead,
say
Sean.
Boone is gonna have to talk to his young guys and say, look, go up there, have patience at bat, don't free swing at the first, have consistent at bat because a lot of times a lot of the young guys have that tendency. They'll have one great at bat, and then the next one they come up like free swinging at anything.
Yeah, I noticed that too, Sean. Especially like the situation, like if it's late in the game and they're down one, everybody's trying to be the hero, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you don't need that, man. We just got to get runners on base. Take what the pitcher's giving you. If they throwing you balls, why are we swinging at balls? Why are we helping them out? But
Right.
the only person I expect to, and even him, even Judge is like, it's like, dude, just take the ball. But maybe a Judge or even Ben Rice. But I mean, you should never be swinging at balls.
No. But I mean, yeah, in Judge's case, he barely gets pitched to anyways. But yeah, and then there's times when he lays off the pitch and they'll still call a low strike on him. And I was like, the dude's 6'8".
Yeah. But I think that's why I like that the Belly's turning around. Um
Mm-hmm.
and so being the way he's been hitting, I like him behind Judge. Like keep it like that. Keep him right
Oh yeah,
behind Judge.
and yeah, and Goldie you can interchange him, but I like him as either cleanup or leadoff. Those are the two spots
Oh,
with Goldie.
Goldie. Yeah.
Because having him fourth, like if we had Trent or Ben Rice leadoff and then have Goldie fourth or fifth, you got that added protection behind Judge and Belly. You know, because they're gonna pitch around Judge, and then Belly, but then having that extra safety net of Goldschmidt,
Yeah.
it's
No,
gonna
that's
help
why I
our
think
chances.
Bellinger, the way he's been playing has been huge because it gives kind of takes the weight off a Judge. Like, okay, I don't have to
Mm-hmm.
be the guy. I could take this walk, you know. I don't have to
Yeah.
start swinging crazy at every high fastball they throw me. Um,
Yeah.
so I think I expect Bellinger to have he has good numbers versus Patrick Corbin as well, and so does Goldschmidt. So hopefully he continues that.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? 13 games now? 13 game history?
13 game hitting
Yep.
streak.
Okay.
Tied for
And
his career high.
His career really. I
Yep.
would have never thought that, being that he's had MVP years. So
well, yeah. I mean, he tore it up with the Dodgers. That 2019, 2020 years were some of his best years, but he's had a pretty good career. But the other thing is, I want to see DJ up higher in the lineup. I mean, I know he
already?
just came back.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean versus Volpe. I'd rather have Volpe down in that 7-8
Yeah.
spot and have DJ
Okay, we're
maybe
back.
5 or 6, and that way, because DJ is showing that line drive deal, but he can handle that pressure situation, RBI situations. Volpe, I know it's going to find him either way, but just to help him get it to be more consistent at the plate, I would bring him down 7, 8, maybe even 9. Because when you put
If
him
you
up
look
too
at
high
the
on, or go ahead, kid.
if you look at the numbers against Corbin, Bellinger has 20 plate appearances and he's hitting 400. So he's doing well against him. Goldie's got 10 plate appearances and is hitting 300. Grisham, he's hitting like shit against him. Judge, he's hitting 200. He ain't hitting too good. LeMahieu hitting 379 against him. So we got some folks on here that can hit him, and they weren't on our roster last year. So that that tends to bode well, I think.
Yeah.
I'm calling it here. I don't think that Judge is going to have a good series. I don't anticipate any home runs out of him because the Mets drew up the template to pitch into him. Sliders and changeups low and away and breaking him in with a high fastball. And I think I saw he took six straight sliders away. And what is Corbin's specialty tonight? His number one pitch is a slider.
Yeah, so it's up to Judge though, because the minute he lays off those pitches, then you can throw that blueprint out the window. Because I mean, they'll walk him all day though. I think
Yeah,
we've
and
seen
that's
that.
Oh, yeah.
and that's exactly it. He took an intentional walk in the last game, and then he took an intentional walk because the dude threw junk all below the strike zone. There was not even a chance that Judge was going to think about swinging at any of that crap.
But imagine if he did reach out and poke one out, one of those way sliders that they've been throwing them. You think they would stop throwing them sliders?
No, that's that's his Achilles heel right there. Like,
But I mean, because look, every time that Judge has had a weakness in his career, he took away the inside corner when they were getting him on that. The low strikes is kind of hard because of the umps are calling it, but he pretty much took that away or lowered it down. And then with that low and away,
Okay.
yeah, but even that low in the waist slider, like earlier in the season, right? Even though it's still early, he was laying off those pitches. I noticed
mm-hmm.
that in bigger moments. I don't know if it's the nerves or he gets a little antsy or he wants to. I don't know what it is, but then he starts swinging at them again, and those high
Yeah.
heaters. He's been pretty decent at laying off those pitchers.
It could just be the frustration because he wants to do something in the big moments. They're pitching away from him.
Mhm.
They're not
I
challenging him.
I thought we lost Ken.
Now I'm here.
I think he needs to really like go back and see like how Barry Bonds was. Because Barry Bonds, they were doing the same. They were just pitching around him, and he might get one pitch a night to hit, but he was okay with that.
Yeah.
He would take those. Well, he wasn't gonna swing at the pitcher's pitch. He was
No.
pretty good at waiting for his pitch, and eventually they were gonna get one there, and he took it and he hit him.
Oh
So
yeah.
I think Judge is gonna have to start
What
like doing that.
what I suspect is going to happen in game 2 and 3 is that the starting pitchers, uh, DeGrom and Evaldi, are going to lock us down. Their pitch count is going to go up, and their bullpen is weak, and that's where I suspect we're going to end up teeing off on them is when their bullpen
Yeah.
comes out to the bump.
Yeah, but it goes to Sean's point that how do you get a pitcher out of the game early? You gotta get the pitch count up. You gotta take the balls. You can't because we know DeGrom is filthy. Like when he's healthy, he's one of the best, if not the best.
Yeah.
So how do you get a guy like that out of the game? Is by making him throw more pitches, whether that's fouling
Have
stuff off or
Oh
whatever it
yeah.
is.
Or even if let's say per each batter you were to have a 6 or 7 pitch at bat every single at bat, you'd have them at 90 pitches before the 5th inning.
Well, what they can't do is what it seems like Wells, especially even though he came up with a big hit Sunday, but going up there and swinging at stuff that's like right on top of your ankles and like I don't know what was going on with these guys, man. Just I think they you start playing hero balls and you're just helping out the pitcher. At one point that who was it, Cabrera? He couldn't throw a strike.
Yeah.
Like at
Well,
what
I
point do
mean,
you tell him do not swing, dude? I don't care if he strikes you out. He's gonna have to throw 3 strikes to strike you out.
well, yeah. Look
You
at
know?
Volpe. One of his strikeouts. He was up. He's ahead 3-0, and then he took the first pitch, which I was fine. I was glad he took the first strike. But the second one was a defensive swing, and then the third one he just swung at a ball. I was like,
The team has the capability of going deep into counts. The thing that drives me nuts about our team is we tend to have a lot of freaking outs on first pitches, whether it be pop out to the catcher, pop out to the infielder, pop out somewhere. All right.
I'm looking at the chat.
Yeah, that's I'm panning on some of it.
Yeah, so how do you think Will Warner do?
Bringing up a cold Italian pizza comment. Warren definitely finding a groove and striking out batters. He has a problem occasionally that one bad inning.
yeah,
And it usually is triggered by a walk, and then he throws a breaking ball that's a cement mixer that hangs in the middle of the plate, and it gets charged up.
yeah. I would say I think Warren will hold his own. 5 or 6 innings. If he can get us to the 6th inning, I'd be fine with that. Because I mean, he handled it. He handled all right against the Padres or against the Athletics. Um, he actually had a career outing there, but I mean, yeah. But like you said, his bad innings, it's like a walk, a hit, and then yeah, he leaves a one hanging down in the middle, and any professional hitter is going to hit one that's hanging down Broadway.
All right. We got some Volpe comments here. From Graham, Anthony at times has too many people living in his head, in his opinion. Not a doubt there. And from Lou, looking forward to the day that Volpe is no longer a Yankee.
Well,
That's pretty rough.
but I mean, but that just highlights how it is with the fan base. There's people that love him and defend Volpe, but they've quickly made him a villain too. And part of it is to do the fact that he is struggling to stay consistent production.
All right.
At the
All right.
plate.
I'm going to give you the straight numbers. Anthony Volpe is a 3.4 WAR player through his career as a Yankee. What's that mean? 3.4 means that he's a contributor. The things that he brings value added to is his defensive ability on the field, his durability on the field. Does he hit great? No. But you know another person who he's following the exact trend of? Dansby Swanson. Dansby Swanson, through his first 3 years, was a 3.4 WAR player. He just signed what? $178 million contract because of his defensive abilities
with the Cubbies, and he's been lights out with the Cubbies.
So the point is, you don't have to have a superstar at every position in the lineup. You have to have a person that can contribute, whether it be defensive half of the ball or offensive half. It'd be nice to have a great blend.
Well, and I think the other thing that's frustrating with Volpe is the fact that he doesn't run. I mean, he's got the speed and he's got the intelligence to be a menace on the base path, the instincts, but he doesn't utilize it as often as he gets on base.
Well, if you look at Volpe's numbers, he leads the team in stolen bases.
But that is true.
I think the thing with him is, you got to get on base more to steal more bases. But I think I agree with Ken. The thing with Volpe is that his highs are really high and his lows are really low.
What?
If he could find some kind of middle ground and stay consistent there, I'm fine with Volpe. Like his defense, I mean, we can't argue the defense.
No.
He's gonna make error from time to time. But he's shown that he can do it at the big league level.
Mm-hmm.
So he just gotta be consistent.
And what?
The funny thing is the most recognized comparable player, shortstop in the league. He's compared to Bobby Witt Jr. and Gunnar Henderson.
Wow.
And his numbers are better than Gunnar Henderson, both defensively and offensively this year, if you can imagine that one. And Witt Jr. is just a freaking albatross.
Yeah. Well, but then also here's the thing too. Part of the thing with Volpe is, remember, he came with the hype, the next Derek Jeter. Not that he created it, but fans created that expectation.
This is a freaking thing that pisses me off with regard to the Yankees and the fan base. They don't allow the people to come up and be themselves. Jason Dominguez probably has more pressure on him than any player in the Yankee organization with his come-uppings as the next Mickey Mantle.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Volpe is the next Derek Jeter. Austin Wells is the next Jorge Posada. I'm sorry, they are not. They're their own players, and you hear that crap enough in your head, it starts to get to you.
Is Luke Weaver the next Mariano? No.
You think bullshit. Players really let that affect them though? I mean, I
do.
know they. Yeah, it's got to be there in the back of their minds, especially Volpe, because he grew up a Jeter fan and that whole thing. Yeah. But me personally, I never compared him to Derek Jeter or anyone else for that matter. Like, it's ridiculous when you think about it. Like, but it's just, it makes no sense.
But it
is
crazy.
But you look at the hype and the pressure. It's there. And when these kids don't start performing at that level, what do the fans do? They vilify him. Oh, he's a wash. Dominguez can't catch balls in left field. Need to trade him or send him down to the minors. He played like 6 games
Yeah.
in left field, and he's a bust. Give me a freaking break. You can't truly evaluate a player unless you have at least 2 to 3 seasons under their belt.
I see that a lot with Spencer Jones, right? I see a lot of comparisons to Judge's swing and the next, and I'm like, can we stop that now? Like, let the kid figure it out down there in Double A
Yeah.
and work his way up here.
Let
And
him.
when he gets here, then we'll see what he has.
I
But
mean, he's a big boy like Judge. I'll give him that. He's
right.
fast. I'll give him that. He strikes out worse than Judge ever did. And he's a big boy. So when he hits the ball, he's going to hit the damn thing hard.
Yeah, but I see a lot of
But
like
you also have to remember that he is a converted pitcher. He was a beast as a pitcher at
Yeah.
Vanderbilt.
Didn't
He took the
he
Tommy
convert
John
to hitting?
surgery. Yeah, he took Tommy John surgery because of his pitching. He was a freaking top flight pitcher and converted to
Yeah.
become. He actually started as a first baseman and then went into the outfield.
Right. But yeah, I mean,
I think that the thing that they figured is somebody who's 6'7" shouldn't be playing first base.
well, I mean, wasn't Frank Thomas pretty tall dude? Or Jim
Frank
told me was
Thomas is
tall.
huge.
Yeah,
They
and
were
he was a
both
two-sport athlete too. He was a professional football player in conjunction with being a baseball player.
There's a reason
Baseball
why they
certainly
call
was
him.
not his first thing.
There's a reason why
Yeah.
they call him the Big Hurt.
I
That was a
know,
big
right?
dude.
But yeah, I hated pitching. I mean, I hated when he was up to plate at a crucial thing because you knew he was going to hurt you one way or another.
Yeah, I think, but overall though, look, and I've criticized the roster before the season and everything, and I gotta admit myself that it's coming together little by little. We're a few pieces here and there away, and I know we have some pieces coming back, but I think it's still a little too early. Look, we're in first place. The division is weak,
Yeah.
so it's no need to panic or make
Yeah.
any hasty trades or anything like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah.
Uh,
Every other team is struggling. All the other teams are like below or at 500. I think the Red Sox are either hovering around the 500 mark. The Orioles, who are many experts have picked to win the division, are
no,
one of the
they're a
worst teams in the
dumpster
league.
fire right now.
Right. The Jays are struggling. The Red Sox, who we all were excited about, hopefully the arch rivalry would be back, but they're being a Jekyll and Hyde team right now.
Well, it's the Red Sox have the same story that they had last year. Incredible speed, can't get on bases, can't score runs.
And then you got the drama with Bregman versus Devers, or Devers doesn't want to be a team player.
Well, you know that they built the team around him. They gave him a $300 million contract. So you think that they might actually consult with their Aaron Judge on construction and whatnot. Did they even have a thought about talking to Devers about possibly shifting positions before they signed Bregman? I guarantee that they didn't. He's on the hook. He'll just have to suck it up.
Yeah. That was when the conversation was had, when Cora went up to him and said, hey, you're going to have to play first or DH.
Yeah.
But the long and short, it was something similar with us and Stroman. Oh, you're going to the bullpen. Well, no. He wasn't going to the bullpen because he pitched like ass. And you want to put a guy like that out in the bullpen to get freaking whacked around? The hell with that.
I tell you what, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with Stroman, though. Unless they just sit him for the rest of the Phantom IL for the rest of the season or something. But at some point, I think especially knock on wood, if somebody goes down, then they're gonna give him another shot. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean,
I find it difficult think that Stroman's going to make an appearance back at the major league level for the Yankees. I just don't see it.
Sitting out the year on the couch, getting paid by the Yankees.
Okay, we bring Stroman back up. What do we do?
Set him in the bullpen.
Somebody's going down.
Yeah.
You put him in the bullpen and give him the Matzek role. Whenever it's a blowout game, you bring him out to eat innings.
But yeah, I mean,
long and short, the guy just doesn't have stuff that interprets to the bullpen.
No, he don't.
What?
That's why you just got to bring him out in a blowout game.
And for the last few years, Stroman had always been a guy that relies heavily on location. And when you miss location and you barely cover 92 miles per hour, it's going to get hit with a charge. You know? When you leave it out in the middle of the plate all the time.
Yeah, man, he's a pitcher. He has to nibble. He has to nibble the corners, and if he's not hitting his spots, he's gonna get hit hard.
Comment from Graham: he's staying on the IL. Someone will go and visit him if he looks like he's coming back and clunk him.
Oh my God! Like Nancy Kerrigan. Oh, no.
And then Real Bill P. I don't put any credence on so-called experts. They get paid to guess. Most of them are just like us. We just take the info available and make a guess. That's it. Injury messes up predictions on a daily basis.
Thanks.
Hey,
I mean, the one thing that I think is rest assured that with the duration that he spent on the IL, he's not going to make the 140 inning vesting option for a third year. So this will be it for Stroman, whether he gets DFA'd or some team is desperate enough to offer up a trade piece for him.
Yeah.
God only knows.
God only knows. But I mean, and then here's the whole thing with Hill. We're not quite sure when he actually comes back. I know he started the throwing program, so he's getting closer to having a rehab appearance. And he'll be back eventually, which will be good for our rotation.
Yeah, but even with Hill, though, you like we as a fan, we gotta give him time too. The guy's just coming off an injury.
Oh yeah.
He has he's gonna have to. I mean, hopefully not. Hopefully he hits the ground running, but he's gonna need some starts to really get adjusted.
Yeah.
You know?
And here's the thing, Hill's a great pitcher, but the problem is he's having a hard time staying healthy. But I wouldn't rush him back.
Honestly, my assessment of Hill last year, he had that fantastic start.
Mm-hmm.
Towards the latter part of the season, he was waning. He had pitched more innings than he had ever pitched as a professional by almost twice as many innings. With him getting a late start to the season, I think that his stuff will be there, and I do not believe that he will be fatigued. So adding him at the June-July timeframe is like adding another tier 1 pitcher. He's gonna need reps to get up to speed, but I think he'll get there.
Yeah, but I mean, and then like you said, there comes the point he'll be at probably mid-season form come September, October when we start the playoff, and then you got him with Rodon and Fried as your top 3 pitchers, and then you got Schmidt as your 4th starter for the playoffs. That's a pretty good combo.
Yeah. And Ken, is the Grom on a innings pitch limit? Do they have him on a limit? No.
Nope.
I was just thinking about that.
He is full and free to throw at will.
But here's the thing with DeGrom. His whole career has been kind of this electric stuff, and he'll be doing good, and then he'll get injured, and he'll be out for a while, and then he comes back, and then it's
The good thing is that none of the Rangers, with the exception of Pilar, have faced Warren. I mean, that could be a good thing or a bad thing, I guess.
Well,
And like guys like Marcus Simeon are having a down year. Like the only person batting 300 or better is Seager, and he's right at
hmm
300. So I think the whole offense is underperforming. So
You know
hopefully they stays like that. Go ahead, Ken.
the
Sorry.
person in that lineup that scares the crap out of me is Jock Peterson.
Oh my God! Of
hmm
all people,
That dude just comes up and hits bombs. I watched him all last year as a Diamondback. They'd bring him in, and the next thing you know, there's a ball freaking wafting into the
Hey,
pool at Chase Field.
no,
That
I
dude
mean,
just hits bombs.
he's batting 130 right now though. But you're right
but
though. When he does hit it, he hits it hard.
yeah, he still got
And
that back. Just haven't.
to answer Lou's question, how's he pitching this year? DeGrom is 4-1 on the season with like a 2.28 ERA, and he's got 60 some odd strikeouts. He's near the top in the league with strikeouts.
Yeah.
So he's doing very well.
But no, and then the other thing with the point though about with when pitchers are facing or when a lineup's facing the pitcher for the first time, I give the advantage usually to the pitcher. Because you never know what it is. I mean, look at how it is when we face a pitcher for the first time, and then they look like Sandy Koufax the first time we face him.
Yeah, but the thing that we're going to have to worry about with Warren is to get length out of him.
Mm-hmm.
Do not want to chew the bullpen up in game one of a 3-game set.
Yeah, especially with Yarbrough, who probably will give us about 5 max
At least
in game 2.
it'd be nice to see Kyle Higashioka back at Yankee Stadium, with his old
Dude,
buddies.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
know, the funny thing about that, Jason, it
What's
seems
that?
like every ex-Yankee comes to kick us right in the balls.
I know, right? It'll be that day. Like he hasn't done anything all year, but as soon as he comes faces us again,
hey,
he wants to go off.
well,
Yeah,
let's
he'll
just
have
talk.
a 2-home run game, gun down a couple of runners.
Mm-hmm. Well, he was like that when he was with us for years. Like he had a 3-homer game against the Blue Jays. A few times. He'd have like great time, and then then he'd quiet, and then he'd come back and have like this spectacular game, and then but he was a great backup catcher who the pitching staff loved him, and he was reliable. But
Yeah,
but
I
like you
think
said,
like the Rangers. Granted, doing, they're not living up to what we thought they would do so far this year. But there's like you got Kyle Higashioka. There's a lot of underlying storylines. Like I know Volpe's good friends with Leiter Jr. They're like best
well,
friends.
yeah, they grew up
Mhm.
next to each
Yep.
other, so
Um, there's some underlying storylines there. I'm just glad that we don't have to face Kirby Yates anymore because he was tough, man, on the Yankees.
yeah.
All
And
right,
then
fellas, we've clipped the hour mark, so I'm going to shut it down here in a couple minutes. So if we could get your last thoughts,
um,
Jason.
Um, First of all, thank you for having me on. I think my last thoughts would be like this team is really coming together. Everything's starting to gel pretty well. The plan B is working. I know we're going up against some tough pitchers here soon, but I think I have faith in the Yankees, man. Even if we can't hit those pitchers, we'll get their bullpen, like you said, Ken, and we'll find a way to get the series.
And Sean?
yeah, just following the same point. We just gotta be patient and have um, our best at bats every time. Um, and yeah, we got to get to the bullpen before they get to our bullpen.
Okay. Good thoughts. All right. This one's on the fly, but for that, if you haven't, please hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, I'd appreciate it if you drop a subscription. Share this content out with anybody that you feel may find value in it. Right now, the post game is scheduled for 15 minutes after the game ends on NY Yankee Mania with Joe. So definitely hop into that stream. I am going to be there. I'll decide sometime this morning. I'm thinking about possibly doing the play-by-play for the first game. So if I do, hop in. You'll see notifications. Make sure notifications are hit. Hop in, say hi, give a like, and shout out. And hope to see you if I do the stream. Like I said, I'll let you know probably by 2:00 or so. I got a parent-teacher conference with my grandson's teacher this morning. So after we're done with that, then we'll take care of business. But like I said, thank you, Jason, for coming up. Thank you for Sean coming up.
Can I say one
Thank you
last
for
thing, Cliff?
everyone. Huh?
Congratulations! I see you hit the 100, man. Congrats.
Did I?
Congrats. Yeah, unless mine's is. Let me check again.
Well, I had 96 this morning. So
Yeah, it says 100.
Hey.
So
all right, cool.
Congratulations.
Whoop whoop whoop! Red alert. So maybe people don't hate me as much as I thought they did. It's hard to hear the truth sometimes, brother. You know how it is.
It hurts.
Oh yeah. Well, you
It
know,
hurts.
not everyone.
It's sort of like
has-
that military thing. People always think that they were doing the best, and when I rained on their parade, they were pissed off about it. I don't know why.
Yep.
Well, you know, not everybody can handle it like the military. You know, not everyone has that military mindset.
Yeah. And like I said, I appreciate y'all jumping in and contributing to the stream. I appreciate it very, very much. Like I said, I'll let you know by 2 whether I'm going to call the play-by-play or not. And if I do, hop in and say, hey, I think that I'm calling the game on Thursday, and I think Joe's calling it on Wednesday at NY Yankee Mania. So keep an eye out for the advanced notifications, and I'm going to end in my customary fashion. Let's go Yankees. Have a great afternoon.
Let's go.